Hi, my name is Teresa Kackert, and this is an educational tip brought to you by the Certified Horsemanship Association. This is my lovely rider, Sarah, and her gorgeous boy, Art. Today we're going to talk to you about the differences in some of the seat positions in our English riding that we see today. There can be some confusion that needs clarification in some of the different types of seats that we use, especially when we're riding towards fences. So Sarah would be sitting on Art in what we would consider a full seat. She actually has 3 points of contact with her horse's back. Her rear or bottom is 1 point of contact, and then she has her one knee, other knee. So she has 1, 2, 3 points of contact, or a full seat with her horse. The full seat is very effective when you're riding. You can use your seat as one of your natural aids, and you can send your horse forward with a little bit of a driving seat. You can tighten your back muscles and your core and abdominal muscles and hold a little bit, slow your horse down. So the seat has a huge influence in how your horse relates to what you're asking them to do. But when we're jumping, we know that we can't sit on our horse's back over fences. So what we do then is we ask our riders to go into a 2-point. So Sarah's going to demonstrate to you a 2-point. Now, the reason why it's called a 2-point is simply she has 2 points of contact. 1, 2. She's removed the 3rd point of contact, her bottom, from her horse's saddle. So now she's able to influence her horse with her weight only very minimally, and we want our riders to sit still. We don't want them tipping forward or back. So she has 2 points of contact. She can still use her hands, her voice, and her legs as her natural aids, but her seat is going to remain still and quiet. So this is your 2-point. You'll notice if you look, her bottom is completely up out of the saddle, which would allow her horse the freedom to bascule and round over his fences as he jumps so that he can use his body in his most athletic way to serve him and you well, keeping you safe going over the fences. We all know that we want to be safe when we're jumping, and we should do that off of our horse's back in the 2-point position. Emphasize too that you can rest your hands on your horse's neck if you need to for balance so that you can maintain that 2-point position while you're learning how to strengthen your core and your legs. Well, another way that you will hear a seat that you'll hear often referred to is the half seat. Now, the half seat or the light seat, you will often hear interchanged. Most breed registry shows, your Pinto, AQHA, those types of things, they're going to refer to the 2-point. But a lot of times if you get into the hunter-jumper world or the eventing world, they're going to sometimes say half seat or light seat. Now, depending on different regions in the United States or different locations around the world, these are global sports, are going to refer to them differently. So a half seat and a light seat can kind of be used interchangeably. So we're going to demonstrate for you today a half seat. You'll notice that Sarah is kind of half sitting on Art's back. So in a half seat, your skin and your clothing might actually be touching your horse's back or saddle. However, your seat bones are not in the saddle. So you're kind of half sitting. You're not in a full seat with full contact with your pelvis sitting on top of your saddle. You're just letting your skin touch the saddle and your pelvis bones are actually up out of the tack itself. And that would be a half seat or a light seat. So you would use a half seat or a light seat oftentimes if you're approaching the fence and you might need a little more impulsion. You might need to keep your horse coming underneath himself to have enough thrust to get over that fence, or you need to be able to sit back a little bit and regulate your horse's stride by holding as you're coming to the fence. This half seat or light seat allows you to use your weight aid a little more than in a full 2-point. So Sarah, if you could go back into the 2-point again, you'll notice this 2-point, her bottom is completely out of the tack. Her skin nor her clothing is not touching the saddle. She's just give a little squeeze with one leg. There you go. Her bottom is completely out of the saddle in a true 2-point. She just has the 2 points of contact. Now, Sarah, if you could be so kind as to go into a light seat or a half seat. So you notice the difference with that? She's lightly sitting or half sitting on her horse's back, and you can see how just sinking down into the tack could enable you to use your weight as an aid. Let's go ahead and do a full seat. So full seat, she's going to sit completely down on her horse's back. So Sarah and Art are actually going to demonstrate for us today the difference between the 2-point and the half seat or light seat while you're moving. It's very important to be able to do this because, frankly, when we're jumping, we're going to be moving. So we want to practice these skills at the walk, trot, canter, and gallop. But today we're going to demonstrate the walk. Sarah, go ahead and move on and get into your 2-point if you could for me, please. Now let's sink down to your light seat or half seat. Yes. So notice that in the light seat, her seat is just barely sitting on the saddle, and back up to the 2-point, please. Very nice. Nicely done. Good. And you can sink back into your light seat. Yes. Half seat or light seat. Back into your 2-point again, please, Sarah. Excellent. All the way with all of your bottom out of the tack, just the 2 points of your contact, and then sinking low into your light seat. Yes, just barely letting your skin and breeches brush against the saddle. So I want everybody to be able to add the 2-point or the half seat and light seat to your jumping versatility skill sets that you have to enable you to use your weight aid a little bit more effectively as you come to a fence, either for gathering your horse's stride, or sometimes if you're riding a horse that tends to be a little hot and they don't want you sitting all the way on their back, you can still use the half seat or light seat. I hope that this helps clarify the difference between a 2-point, a half seat, and a light seat, and we do look forward to bringing more educational tips to you from the CHA. Thanks so much for watching.